Hey guys, today I want to talk about the lawsuit between Elon and Tesla shareholders over the SolarCity acquisition. But before I get into it, I got to ask, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. The more people who subscribe, the more of these videos we're going to make. First off, let's talk about SolarCity. SolarCity was founded in 2006 by Peter and Lyndon Rive, who were both cousins of Elon Musk. They focused heavily on door-to-door sales of lease systems. Under this model, customers paid nothing up front, but they agreed to purchase power generated from these panels for 20 years. They often received a discount relative to their previous power price, thus incentivizing them to get on the program. The model became so successful that at one point, SolarCity was the largest residential solar installer in America. In 2016, Tesla announced that they would be acquiring SolarCity in a $2.6 billion all-stock acquisition. But there was one big problem. SolarCity didn't actually make money, and they had lots of debt. For example, the company lost $820 million in 2016, $769 million in 2015, and $375 million in 2014. And at the time of the acquisition, SolarCity had over $1.4 billion in long-term debt. So off the bat, Tesla's paying billions of dollars to acquire another company that loses massive amounts of money and is saddled with debt. Now, according to a filing with the Chancery Court, at the time of the acquisition, Musk owned 22.1% of Tesla and 21.9% of SolarCity. Shareholders alleged the deal was a bailout for SolarCity that greatly benefited both Elon and his family. For example, one of SolarCity's board members was Elon's brother, Kimball Musk. In addition to the insider dealing, Tesla was repeatedly delaying mass manufacturing of their solar roof tiles that Tesla basically hubbed the future of solar panels. That being said, the Powerwall is actually doing relatively well. In May, the company tweeted out that they've passed 200,000 Powerwall installs globally. This is not the first time Elon has ran into legal troubles. So in 2018, the SEC sued him for fraud when he tweeted about taking Tesla private when it reached $420 per share. This then sent Tesla's stock price soaring, and ultimately the SEC didn't like that. Musk and Tesla ultimately settled for $20 million each with the SEC. Elon has actually won a lawsuit where he was being sued by caving expert Vernon Unsworth for calling the caving expert a pedo guy. And there are other lawsuits, including one over his compensation package. Getting back to SolarCity, it's interesting to note that in January of 2020, a judge approved a $60 million settlement between the directors, which was paid by Tesla's insurance, that resolved the issue with all directors, except, of course, for one, Elon. Some of the highlights coming out of the courtroom so far include Musk telling opposing lawyer Randall Barron, "I think you are a bad human being," and in the past has called Mr. Barron a shameful person who has no conscience and is a blight on the economy. The plaintiff's lawyers are asking why SolarCity's performance varied from the projections Tesla gave to shareholders at the time of the acquisition. And here's where Elon digs in. I don't think SolarCity was financially troubled. In order to have a compelling product, you really needed to have a tightly integrated solar and battery solution. And we could not create a well-integrated product if SolarCity was a separate company. Elon then continued by disagreeing there was significant evidence the company was seriously struggling with its cash management, and he downplayed the impacts of the company's cash balance issues, noting Amazon had negative cash flow for many years. Interestingly, an email has emerged between Elon and the CEO of SolarCity, Lyndon Rive, also his cousin, from July 9th, 2016, with quotes like, "I am really sorry there's a surprise we are running super low on cash," and "I mentioned that we needed to raise capital, but you told me no, and that you have me covered. And I am really afraid of the domino effect if we don't get the capital. You said, let's get this done in May." Elon also said in court, SolarCity, I think, would have done just fine by itself, and Tesla would have done fine by itself. But in the long term, they are better together, and that is what the future will show. So, if he lost a suit, he's going to pay around $2 billion. Elon is one of the richest people on the planet, with a net worth around $160 billion. It would equate to less than 1.5% of his overall net worth. Now, look, what good would this be in terms of a Tesla video if I didn't give a mention to Ross Gerber, who says, "Elon destroying the opposing lawyer on the stand in the SolarCity trial. This is a weak case. Rare to see anyone stand up and fight versus settle. It's clear that SolarCity is an important part of Tesla's overall strategy. Most lawyers aren't used to actually trying cases." Of course, the biggest argument in favor of Elon is the price performance of Tesla shares after the acquisition, which have gone from $46 to around $685, which makes the stock about a 15-bagger. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is Elon ultimately going to win this case or lose this case? Also, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more coverage of all things stock related. It helps us if you subscribe because it helps us build an audience so that I can feed my 2 adult children, Jay Lutz and young Justin. Thanks for joining, everybody.